All right, today we're jumping into one of the biggest, most exciting shifts happening in AI right now, the rise of Agentic AI. And trust me, this isn't just some minor update or another buzzword. It's a whole new way of thinking about automation. So let's get right into it.
Boston Consulting Group asked this question that just perfectly captures the whole idea. What happens when AI stops asking permission? That right there is the core concept we're going to unpack. It's a pretty big deal.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll nail down what Agentic AI actually is. Then, we'll see how it's already shaking up businesses. After that, we'll peek under the hood at the tools used to build these things, talk about the super important balance between letting them run free and keeping them in check, and finally, what it all means for you.
Okay, let's start with the absolute basics. What in the world are we talking about when we say an AI is agentic? What makes it so different?
Well, in a nutshell, an AI agent is way more than just a chatbot that spits out answers. It's a system that has, well, agency. Think of it like this. It's less like a calculator and more like a junior analyst. You don't give it step-by-step instructions. You give it a project. It then figures out the plan, uses the tools it needs, like searching the web or pulling data, and course corrects along the way, all by itself.
So, the huge, game-changing difference is the shift from reactive to proactive. See, traditional AI is like a puppet. It follows a script you wrote. It just reacts. Agentic AI, on the other hand, gets an objective. It thinks ahead, it adapts to new info, and it actually takes the initiative. It's the difference between asking, turn left, then right, then go 3 blocks, and just saying, hey, get me to the airport.
Now let's get out of the theory and see how this is becoming a seriously powerful tool for actual businesses right now.
And the impact is, well, it's huge. According to BCG, we're talking about businesses speeding up their processes by 30 to 50%. That's not a small tweak. That is a massive, revolutionary jump in how work gets done.
And it's happening everywhere. You've got agents running complex supply chains, handling insurance claims from beginning to end, tweaking marketing campaigns on the fly, and even rewriting entire chunks of old computer code automatically. They're basically becoming the new operating system for a lot of companies.
So this all sounds pretty incredible, right? But how does this stuff actually get built? Let's take a quick peek under the hood at the frameworks the pros are using to create these agents.
This is where it gets super interesting, especially if you're a developer or a tech leader. The cool thing is, you're not starting from scratch. It's really about picking the right foundation to build on.
And what's fascinating here are the trade-offs. You've got 3 main players right now: LangGraph, CrewAI, and Microsoft's AutoGen. LangGraph gives you absolute control, but it's tough to learn. CrewAI is super easy to get started with, perfect for trying out ideas fast. And AutoGen is tailor-made for agents that need to write and run code. And pay attention to that last row, token efficiency. That's basically code for how cost-effective it is. LangGraph is the cheapest to run, while AutoGen, not so much.
So how do you pick one? It really just depends on the job. If you're building a critical, heavy-duty system, you want the total control you get from LangGraph. If you're just kicking the tires on an idea and want to see something work quickly, CrewAI is your best friend. And if you need your agents to be coding wizards, well, AutoGen was born for that.
But, and this is a big but, with all of this power comes some really significant risks. You can't just hand over the keys to these autonomous agents and walk away. It requires a completely new way of thinking about governance and control.
And this statistic just hits you over the head with the reality of the situation. Research shows that if you just let them run wild, these agents fail complex tasks almost 70% of the time. 70%. Full autonomy is still a dream. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of technology. Not yet, anyway.
And the risks are no joke. An agent could get tricked by a hacker. It could completely misunderstand its goal and do the wrong thing perfectly. It could just make something up, a hallucination, that gets your company sued. Or it could accidentally break all sorts of serious rules in areas like finance or healthcare.
So the solution is to build a safety net from day one. BCG suggests a simple 3-step plan. In the design phase, you set the rules and who's in charge. In the build phase, you put in the technical safeguards, like a kill switch. And then, in the operate phase, you make sure a human is always in the driver's seat, ready to take over.
This all leads to probably the most important question you have to ask when you're designing these systems. When exactly does a human need to step in and say yes or no?
And thankfully, there's a really clear guide for this. A human checkpoint is an absolute must if the decision can't be undone.
Think sending money or deleting data. It's critical if the agent is allowed to change your live systems. And it's just plain mandatory if the stakes are high, either for your customers, for regulators, or if you're dealing with tricky ethical issues.
Okay, for our last section, let's zoom all the way out. Let's think about what all of this means for you and your role in this new AI-powered world.
I absolutely love this piece of advice. The point is, don't get lost arguing about which framework is best. The real magic, the thing that will actually make or break your project, is how you instruct the agent. The quality of your prompts, that's going to be 80% of your success.
And here is another dose of reality for you. It is so easy to get all excited about building this complex team of AI agents all working together. But honestly, for most real-world problems, it's total overkill. It just adds cost and headaches. So what's the best approach? Start simple. Get one agent doing one job reliably before you even think about building a team.
So as we wrap this up, the big picture is this. The future of work isn't about us being replaced by AI agents. It's about us learning how to manage them. The most valuable person in the room is going to be the conductor, the one who sets the goals, defines the rules, and orchestrates all these powerful new tools to create something incredible. The only question left is, are you ready to be the conductor?